What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Freedom Fire Podcast, where we want to stoke the flames of freedom every single day. My name is Kendall Bowman. I got a loaded show for you guys today. But before I get into that, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe, leave a comment in the comment section, and share the show with your friends. Follow me on all the socials down in the description, and hit that notification bell so that you can be notified whenever we put out new videos. All right, guys, we got some updates on the absolute psychosis that is happening with this, with the bank failures and the economic downturn. From Reuters, Signature Bank becomes next casualty of banking turmoil after SVB. State regulators closed New York-based Signature Bank on Sunday, the third largest failure in U.S. banking history, just 2 days after authorities shuttered Silicon Valley Bank in a collapse that stranded billions in deposits. The Federal Deposit Insurance Corporation, or FDIC, took control of Signature, which had $110 billion in assets and $88 billion in deposits at the end of last year, according to New York State's Department of Financial Services. All of the depositors of Signature Bank and Silicon Valley Bank will be made whole, and no losses will be borne by the taxpayer, the U.S. Treasury Department and other bank regulators said in a joint statement. Yeah, that's a lie. That's a flat-out lie. We all know that the government has no money. The government is broke. So the way that they have to the way that they would fix something like this by helping out these businesses and these people who are losing their money because these bank failures, the way that they're going to pay them is by printing more money. Well, when you print more money, guess what happens? Inflation goes up, which, as we have all been experiencing for several months now here in the United States, and it's not fun. Inflation goes up, prices go up, and guess who that hits the most? It's you. It's me. It's the little guy. And now they're talking about using the FDIC insurance money to bail these guys out. The problem with that is that that's for us. If you look at SVB, you look at Silicon Valley Bank, FDIC insurance is for $250,000 and lower, okay? That's for the little guys. All these rich tech billionaires that had millions of dollars in assets or in dollars in their in SVB, that doesn't cover them. They're the rich guy. They're the big guy. They got enough money. They should be able to cover their own bases. But no. We are now teaching these rich billionaires that they can screw up anything that they want, and the people that make 40 grand a year are going to be forced to bail them out every single time. And boy, did they screw this up. Check this out from the Daily Mail. Go woke, go broke. This seems to be the saying of the age. Go woke, go broke. SVB hired board obsessed with diversity, invested $5 billion for Healthier Planet, and held a month-long Pride celebration, but had no chief risk officer for 8 months last year. Absolutely incredible. Executives at Silicon Valley Bank focused on woke initiatives to increase diversity among its ranks and invest in startups promoting a healthier planet, but failed to spot its glaring problems with investments as interest rates rose. The now failed bank had an A rating for its environmental, social, and governance policies, or ESG policies, to the MSCI index after creating its own initiatives to advance inclusion and opportunity in the innovation economy and investing in clean energy solutions over the past few years. Oh boy. It even announced that it would invest a whopping $5 billion by 2027 to support sustainability efforts, while its European offices held a month-long Pride celebration and promoted safe spaces. Just absolutely incredible. Go woke, go broke. Here's the thing, guys. I feel like there is a bit of a turning that will come out of this. Now, guys, you got to stop panicking. Okay? Stop taking your money out of the banks. You do not want to run on the banks, because when all of the banks fail, our lives get very hard. Everyone's lives is going to get very hard. Okay? Right now, all that would be affected is some woke billionaires who hate you anyways. But if you keep panicking and everybody and their dog keeps taking money out of the bank, there's going to be a run on the banks, and then nobody gets to take their money out of the bank. That's when we got problems. So let's everybody calm down. Let's let this play out. And if you want something to be mad about, go be mad about, them wanting to bail out these businesses who weren't diversifying among several bank accounts. Go be mad at that. They screwed up. They weren't properly managing their finances. They don't deserve to be bailed out. At the end of the day, people who make $40,000 a year should not be bailing out billionaires. That's completely backwards. It doesn't make any sense. Now, let me show you this. As of yesterday, this is the finance sector here. Everything was looking up a little bit. Now, I don't know I have not checked, what everything's going to look like, when the markets are open. Yeah, they might already be open. I'm not entirely sure, but I don't know what everything's going to look like then. But I do know this: SVB's collapse makes it impossible to say what stocks are worth as bond market volatility explodes. They can't even tell what a stock is worth. That is the insanity that this woke garbage has caused in our economy. Just absolutely destroying businesses, which destroys the economy, which destroys the bond market, and now we don't know what anything is worth. Absolutely incredible. I want to say this was back in 2019 or so. I had a buddy of mine. We were driving back from an event or something, and we were talking about Donald Trump. This was back when he was in office, 2019, and he kept telling me, man, all Donald Trump can talk about is the economy. That's it. Like, yeah, the economy's good, but that's all he's done. That's all he can talk about. And I agreed with him, but I implored to him that the economy's pretty dang important. Having a good economy means that everything else gets to function properly. Now we're seeing just how important a good economy is or a bad economy is. A bad economy means we don't even know what stocks are worth. The stocks of some of the biggest companies in the world, we don't even know how much they're worth now. Good job, wokies. Good job. You're doing great. Keep destroying the country. We're doing great. All right, I'll have another story coming for you in just a second. But before I get into that, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe, leave a comment in the comment section, and share this show with your friends. Help me to grow this channel. Follow me on all the socials down in the description to keep track of news and updates on new episodes. And hit that notification bell so that you can be notified whenever we put out new videos. All right, guys, for my next story. Was Donald Trump right the whole time? I believe he was. Man, immigration has gotten absolutely awful. From Timcast, 1,000 illegal aliens stormed U.S. southern border in El Paso. Authorities were forced to use riot gear, barriers, and barbed wire to stop the surge. Video posted to Twitter by Fox National correspondent Bill Mulligan shows the group pushing past Mexico's side of the Paso del Norte Bridge, which connects El Paso to the city of Juarez. All right, I'm going to show you this. This is absolutely psychotic. Check this out. Just absolute chaos. Just bum rushing a bridge. We're just going to bum rush this bridge and hope and pray that we get through. We don't know where we're going, but we're going to do the thing. Oh, man. A subsequent post from Mulligan highlights a show of force used to stop the caravan, which included support from U.S. Customs and Border Protection agents in crown control. I believe they meant to say crowd control gear. The Mexican military, physical barriers, and barbed wire. Let's check this out. Oh, this is kind of a video from further away. Can't really tell a whole lot. Well, yeah, okay, they're zooming in. Check this one out. See, they've been stopped by these barriers up here, no longer able to move forward. You get the picture. El Paso has been a key battleground as the country has faced record high illegal immigration since Biden became president. At the end of the fiscal year 2022, CBP officials reported more than 2.7 million migrant encounters at the border, which is nearly 1 million more than were preceded the previous year. That number is roughly the equivalent of all migrant encounters that occurred during all 4 years of the Trump presidency combined. Think about that whenever they tell you that fentanyl is down. It's a lie. Did a whole video about it. Go check that video out. Now, ultimately, Trump was right. Trump was right. You need a border wall. You need a permanent barrier in place to stop things like this. You want to know why? Because you can bum rush some border agents. You know, you can get 1,000 people together and bum rush some border agents, and you got a decent chance of getting through. You know what I'm saying? But you gonna bum rush a wall? You're gonna bum rush a wall. That's not gonna work. You see what I'm saying? And this is why a border barrier is important. This is why, think about this. All of the illegal immigration that happens in the state of Texas costs Texans $13.8 billion a year. That's what it's costing Texans to have to pay for this psychosis. You know, what was Trump's wall going to cost? Like 20 to 40 million? 20 to 40 billion. I'll pay for that if we don't got to pay $13 billion a year anymore. You pay $40 billion one time, you no longer got to pay this amount. Eventually, that's going to work out. And we got this story here. Because the federal government has chosen to do nothing and has chosen not to finish Trump's border wall, we get things like this. We get states having to take things into their own hands. Texas Republican proposes a state border protection unit. New organization would have the ability to build or replace sections of a border wall, as well as arrest individuals illegally crossing into the U.S. from Mexico. The proposed legislation, HB 20, would amend current state law to allow for the creation of a new border protection unit, which would have the authority to arrest, detain, and deter individuals crossing the border illegally, including with the use of non-deadly force. Under the new law, Texas's border protection unit would also have the legal authority to oversee the construction and maintenance of walls, fences, and other physical barriers along the border with Mexico in order to enhance the safety and security of Texans, the bill states. I get it. I completely understand why this is happening. This is what happens when the federal government does nothing and just leaves these border states to rot and be destroyed by this illegal immigration. You have tens of thousands of people being killed every single year from fentanyl exposure. You have massive amounts of sexual exploitation that is happening not only at our southern border, but along the entire route from here to South America. There's massive amounts of sexual exploitation and child sexual exploitation that is happening all along these routes, and it's not being stopped because of Biden's failures in his policies. Check this out. From the Texas Scorecard, U.S. taxpayers fund condoms and contraceptives for migrants in Colombia. This is a quote. It's not if the women are going to get sexually assaulted. It's when and how many times. This is a photo of the Darien Gap between Colombia and Panama. I believe that's how you say it, Darien. I could be wrong. With the open border policies of the Biden administration attracting illegal immigrants from around the world, thousands of people have been hiking through dangerous regions of Central America where the question is not if a woman will be raped along the way, but how many times. A photo obtained by Texas Scorecard shows just how awful this segment of that journey can be. The photo shows a poster. This photo here. The photo shows a poster listing the contents of a survival kit made available to those preparing to cross the Darien Gap, a large area of dense jungle spanning the isthmus between Colombia and Panama on their journey to the U.S.-Mexico border. On foot, the trek through 60 miles of jungle can take upwards of 10 days. Among the items included in the kit are gauze, compresses, a funnel to pee standing up, condoms, and emergency contraceptive pills. Migrants traveling through the Darien Gap encounter numerous threats, not the least of which is sexual assault by other migrants or criminal smugglers who pose as guides promising to provide assistance and protection during the dangerous journey. In the depths of the jungle, there is no contact with the outside world, and society's laws are not enforced. Instead, revolutionary groups and drug cartels compete for dominance and they routinely prey on vulnerable migrants. So, what can we learn from this garbage? Well, we can learn that open border policies don't work, especially here in a country like the United States. It might work in some other countries, sure. Here in the United States, no, it doesn't. This is the greatest nation that the planet has ever seen. Okay? In terms of its scope, in terms of its freedoms, this is the greatest nation that the world has ever seen, and it's very attractive to a lot of people. However, we are a nation of laws. Okay? We have laws on the books that should be stopping this illegal immigration. But of course, because the federal government has done nothing, we get women being sexually assaulted in a jungle. We get children being kidnapped and taken into sex slavery. We get tens of thousands of people dying of fentanyl, mostly in the United States, where it is so rampant. Guys, it's stuff like this. It's stuff like this that is why Texas is currently trying to secede. Now, you can laugh at that all you want, but there's legitimate legislation in the Texas legislature to secede from the union. And I believe it's got a chance of happening. Now, I don't know what all that will look like, but I know that if it stops stuff like this, if it keeps women from being assaulted, if it keeps children from being sold into slavery, if it keeps young people in the United States from dying of fentanyl, at least in the state of Texas from dying of fentanyl, maybe that's what needs to be done. Lord knows Biden doesn't give a crap about us. Lord knows Biden's not going to do anything to stop this. He's had every opportunity and he's done nothing. Ultimately, we have to do right by us because Lord knows nobody else will. We have a federal government for the reason. They're supposed to be stopping things like this. They're supposed to be helping the American people with issues just like this, but they refuse because they're evil. And they would rather push an agenda of diversity and wokeness just like SVB. They would rather push a woke agenda than to have a good business plan. They would rather have a diverse board than diversified assets and diversified investments, which is absolutely hilarious because that's why your business failed, you absolute dinguses. They would rather push this woke agenda than to save women and children from being sold into slavery and young people from being killed by fentanyl. Guys, we are reaching a turning point in America. It's coming. We are reaching a turning point where the laws are already breaking down. You already got criminals who are saying, well, there's pretty much no laws. We're just going to get away with everything. So, what happens when the average law-abiding citizen decides that they're sick of this? What happens when more states other than Texas decide that they're sick of this? I think it's coming, and I don't think it's that far down the road. All right, I'm going to leave it there, guys. I'll have another show coming for you guys on Friday. I will see you guys then. Thank you so much for watching. Hit that like button, subscribe, leave a comment in the comment section, share the show with your friends, follow me on all the socials down in the description, and hit that notification bell so that you can be notified whenever we put out new videos. Once again, I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye, guys.